Greetings and salutations. Hey, I know it's been a bit since this video is probably really late. It was supposed to come out the other day, um, but I wasn't able to watch this episode as quick as I should have. So we're looking at the Doctor Who episode Wish World. Before I talk about it, I have a question for you. We are. For you. So yeah, this was the part one of the, it was a part one of a part two-parter, which was for the season finale. And the part two will be next weekend. So the episode, so what happened in this episode? In this episode, it sees return of numerous characters from the, out of the series, including the Omega, who last appeared on screen like 42 years ago.
Who are you?
In the legends of your people, I am called Omega.
Omega? That's impossible. Omega was destroyed.
No, Brother Time Lord. I was not destroyed. As you can see.
Well, in this episode, basically, the Doctor, who is going by the moniker of John Smith, and as well as is married to Belinda. I did kind of like the fact they, decided to reuse the, the title John Smith, which was started in the, when the Doctor met, introduced when he was with the character of Martha Jones, in which, he would try to, have a persona that was human, so then he could go out in a way. I like the fact that they had a little bit of, a reference to it, in a way. And in a way, basically, the entire world, it is the entire world, story time, and as well as the news, is broadcasted by the character of Conrad Clark.
And New Zealand. That's my promise. Really nice weather all over the world. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning, Conrad.
Who previously was a bit of a podcast bro who would manipulate things to get things to an objective that he wanted. And yeah, he is in this. Basically, he is working together with the Rani, and as well as also the Rani, the Miss Flood version, to in a way try to bring back the say, okay, the Doctor needs to be bringing back his memories, so then doubt can be brought to split reality and allow the Omega to return. So the Omega was a Doctor Who Time Lord who was basically he was a solar engineer, the creator of the experiments that allowed the Time Lords to travel in time. I'm gonna be honest and say yes. I've heard quite a lot of mixed views on this. I have quite a few things that I kind of like about this episode. I kind of like, say, how the episode is trying to be whenever someone has doubt, say, okay, good madam or good sir, we are throwing you under the bus because it's almost like saying the Stepford Wife vibes to it in a way. Say, oh, you are going against, programming. Can't have that.
I had a question. I had a good question. That's all. I am sorry. I got the stop. I am sorry, Val. I couldn't stop that.
In a way, and I kind of like to say the fact that yes, Ruby, does return in this episode. I will say one thing that I did have a little bit of curiousness about it was in that previously, the Doctor and Belinda basically they said okay, out there is May 24th, 2025 or something like that, previously, and then, like, the TARDIS, in a way, exploded, I believe. The thing that made me think about it, like, was how exactly did the Doctor, was he, like, slowly a bit of brainwashed into, like, forgetting a ton of stuff, like, that easily? Like, how? Like, yes, that would make sense to me if suddenly said, like, say, the dream, wish baby, which Conrad is, taken care of in a way. And then also, to add to the fact that together the Doctor and Belinda have a baby named Poppy.
It's May Day. It's May the 24th.
May the 24th, the big day.
One of the but here's one thing that I have a bit of, like, say, ugh. I one time got a bit of, like, say, flack for almost, have, like, in the description for one video in the past, calling, like, like, say, calling saying Doctor, the Doctor Who or something like that, or, I think it's an incorrection or something like that. And the entire time Conrad says Doctor Who in the story that he's telling about, like, oh my gosh, it's just the Doctor. It's not there's, like, no Doctor Who. It's unless, like, say, a character's going to, like, say, Doctor Who, and all that. It's not just, like, there's no, the title is just the Doctor, not Doctor Who.
People who lived on the Earth were called humans. Doctor Who had lots and lots of human friends.
That's just the name of the program. And yeah, like see, when, like, later when, like, Ruby's gonna, like, say, I don't understand, so, like, say, because eventually, like, her own mother sells her out, so that's, like, why she's having self-doubt and discovering others from a unit and all that. And I gotta say that basically the character of Conrad, basically the reason what's going on with his character is he's basically saying, okay, the world is gonna be how I see it. and all that. There's a sequence in which, like, later as the episode goes, when the Doctor and, like, Belinda basically tells, like, say, hey, you need to get my husband because he's having self-doubt and all that. So what ends up happening is they both get taken away because Belinda can't remember, like, say, when did I have my baby and all that. And the mom goes, like, say, like, come on, you should notice, Tessa, come on, and all that. So what ends up happening is basically they get taken to the, like, palace in the sky where the Rani is. And eventually the Doctor goes, like, say, okay, Ronnie basically goes, like, say, oh, Conrad, and then he has his little spiel and all that, and then, like, he asks the Doctor a question, and I'm just, like, he basically tells him, like, something, like, hey, what do you think of me now? And I'm just, like, saying,
You told me I was nothing. So what do you think of me now?
you're still a massive douchebag, but okay, moving on. So, I'm gonna say that, I mean, I enjoyed, I'm gonna say, I kind of like, say, some of the symbolism ideas. Yes, I thought some things were just, like, say, okay, this is weird, like the walking dinosaurs that are skeletons and all that. It looked cool visually, but at the same time, it made me, like, curious, why? Like, why is this going on and all that? And yeah, it did make me, like, a little bit, like, wonder, like, see, why, like, how did the Ronnies, like, whatever, like, because it's trying to say at the beginning of it, when she steals the baby, that she has magical powers and all that, so it just made me wonder, like, is she that powerful and all that? Because, like, yes, I've gone back to watch some era of the classic era, but I have not had the opportunity to watch all of it. So yeah, it did make me very curious of like, say, is this very much how the classic was?
No welcome?
You're not.
Or is this they're just trying to make new to build up to the drama? But I am very curious to see what's going to happen with part 2 of this, and then it makes me want to like, say, okay, is there going to be like, is Poppy, is she going to be a time child or something like that, and all that? And where does Susan, where does she fit in all this? Where is she supposed to be? Like, is she going to be appearing in the next episode? So, this is just how I feel about all this. See you next time.